champion, baby! Jump Croatia, we got a champion!
Touch gloves. Let's do this.
Next year, 2017, we're going to be defending the belt here in Amsterdam Arena.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show for UFC 203. It's going down tonight. 7:30 is the new time because there was a couple of fights that got taken off. There's an elevator that fell, but things got crazy at those weigh-ins yesterday. I had to do a whole new show with everything out. But if you're new, make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. Make sure you check out Facebook, YouTube, of course, right here on YouTube. Subscribe down below. And also, guys, our show Wednesday night, I do with Ted Chat. We always have a blast with an open chat room. And also, one more big announcement. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, I will be on Cageside Submissions. Once again, I got invited back to be on. And I'll be talking with the UFC Bantamweight, Lauren Murphy, which you all remember from that fight earlier on this year, which I forgot who it was against. But she bloodied the girl up and literally punched her in the face, and it splat right on the freaking camera. It was like the Nickelodeon splat right up on it. Either way, we got a great card coming up tonight. I'm going to give everybody my UFC 203 predictions. We're going to sum up CM Punk versus Gall and what's going on right now. I think Punk's playing some mind games. How important this fight is to Jessica Evil Eye. Of course, we watched the weigh-ins yesterday, and she literally threw her across the stage. Literally. Absolutely crazy. That girl is hungry. She is fighting at home. She's coming off a couple of losses. Her father just passed away not too long ago. It's going to be a crazy night of fights. So let's get right into it with weekly news, really. You guys can check out on our podcast. We also just talked to Podfelder. No, we did not talk to Podfelder. We talked to Paul Felder the other day, and it's on the podcast. You guys can find that on Apple iTunes. Of course, we do that every week. There's fun new segments by Minion McGrognan. Absolutely a blast. We also have Twitter rankings to discuss really quick before we get into any of the predictions, so let's check those out. So, Yusuf, General Yusuf, of course. Shout out to the Pure Evil Army. He asked everybody who you got for the heavyweight title. Are you going with Stipe or are you going with Alistair Overeem? And a majority of the votes, out of almost 120 people, very close fight. Honestly, guys, I'm going for Overeem here to win this one. And of course, Yusuf, obviously, he's from Rotterdam out there. So of course, he's going to be going with Overeem. But however, Stipe defending the title at his home in the land. It was a straight tie, 50-50. So that's actually crazy. That has never happened before on Pure Evil MMA on any of the posts. So you know what? This fight is a coin toss for everyone. But I'm going to break it down for everybody. Let's jump right into the card right after this one. I asked everybody, will CM Punk versus Gall, what round is that going to end in? 39% going round 1, 45% going round 2. 10% even said decision. I do not see this fight going to decision. I'm going to tell you what I see happen in this fight. I'm going to jump right into it right now. CM Punk has been playing these mind games, it seems almost like. Yesterday, he did not want to shake hands with Mickey Gall at the weigh-ins, which is kind of disrespectful if you ask me. I wasn't too happy about that. But then again, maybe CM Punk's getting a little upset with some of the things that Mickey's saying, kind of underestimating. Who knows? It's could be mind games. But honestly, you should at least shake the person's hand. If it's your first MMA fight, we've all been waiting 2 years. The young kid, come on, man, show some respect. You're in a mixed martial art professional sport. Act like a professional. You're not here to put on a show. You're not here for the WWE. And even Dana was kind of laughing a little bit yesterday when at the weigh-ins. Let me try to pull that right picture right there. That was yesterday at the weigh-ins. Right after he did not shake Mickey Gall's hand, he started doing all this weird stuff, putting on the show, going, "Come on, let's do this." And it honestly just looked absolutely ridiculous. I did not know what to say. And then Jessica Evil Eye doing that to Betch Kohea. Come on. Absolutely crazy. I cannot wait for these fights to kick off. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to kick off on Fight Pass, I'm pretty sure, and then go straight into Fox Sports 1, and then the pay-per-view is going to begin. So there has been some changes to this card. Like I mentioned before, there are no longer 12 fights on here. We're only looking at 10 fights. Ian McCall has been taken off of this. All right, so Jessica Evil Eye yesterday at the weigh-ins, pushing Betch Kohea, and it didn't even seem like Betch Kohea was, getting in her face or anything, or was going to engage in anything. However, Jessica Evil Eye just wasn't even taking it. Wasn't even trying to play that game, and just snapped. And of course, she has a lot of pressure on her. She was just on cage side submission, so make sure you guys go check that out. She actually talked about this fight. I wish her best of luck tonight. However, she's in a tough position. I mean, she's fighting at home. She's fighting Betch Kohea, which is a beast. She has knockout power. Her father just passed away not too long ago. And she's coming off a couple of losses, so she's in a tight position here. I'm going with Jessica Evil Eye. She's backed up in a corner. You do not want to be going up against somebody like Evil Eye. She is going to go rowdy tonight. Betch Kohea, though, is no joke. However, when she gets emotionally excited for these kind of fights, she loses track of her game plan, and that's what we kind of saw in that Ronda Rousey fight. She was just overcome with emotions, it seemed like, and it just threw her game completely off. So let's see how that plays in with tonight's fight. Here we go, guys. Once we get into the pay-per-view, the main card starting at 10 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific time tonight, Jessica Andrade going against Joanne Calderwood from Scotland. And of course, Calderwood's a very soft-spoken girl, but she does not play around. Right here, guys, Jessica Andrade, she's a shorter kind of fighter, packs a lot of power. She's got heart. But Joanne Calderwood, long, lanky, very, very tricky when it comes in there. Only lost one fight before. Here I'm going to go with Joanne Calderwood to win this one. Most likely, maybe a knockout. But Jessica Andrade is a beast. It could go to decision, so do not mark my words on that. However, I'm going for JoJo. And then here we go, guys. Kind of a weird fight. Uriah Faber just losing the fight to Dominic Cruz for the belt. And everyone was wondering, what's he going to do now? Is he going to stay? Is he going to leave? And he addressed it that night that Uriah Faber wasn't going to be going anywhere. We saw him in the fight before Dominic Cruz. He had that knockout, almost very close to that knockout, and I think the second round. However, the fighter he was fighting just held on, bit down, and just pushed forward. Uriah was like, wow, man. Because he almost emptied the rest of his gas tank out and ended up coming back for the win. Uriah held it down, got the win. Then going in there, fighting Dominic Cruz, losing. He's still around, and last night he was actually in an elevator, and the video is actually up on YouTube, Twitter. It's everywhere right now. They're in an elevator in Cleveland, and the freaking thing fell a floor all the way to the basement, and they got stuck in there. Verdun was in there. Uriah was in there. Dober was in there, I'm pretty sure. But tonight, guys, Uriah Faber, I'm calling out on top. He's going to win this by knockout. Jimmy Rivera is no joke either, 19-1. This is going to be a test for him. Uriah has nothing to really lose here. Jimmy has everything to gain. Going up against the number 2 seed, Uriah Faber. So, big fight for him. Let's see what he does tonight. El Terror. But Uriah Faber has been top 5 for how long now? Holding his place, but he just doesn't do that well when it comes down to those title fights. He was the WEC champion. He went in there and just chokes time after time again. It's just absolutely frustrating as a fan of Uriah Faber. I said this, I was a fan of him in high school, huge fan. He was great on Ultimate Fighter last season with Conor McGregor. And it's too bad. I really wanted to see him win the belt, but he didn't even do that good in the fight. Dominic Cruz is just on another level and really proved it. And there's no way those two are going to be fighting again. So unless Dominic Cruz loses the belt, and believe me, I think he will very soon because he is getting older. But however, he's been proving time and time again that he is one of the best and has some of the best footwork you might ever see in the UFC. So let's get into the fight everyone has been waiting for. I talked about this on the podcast. Make sure you guys check it out. Just search iTunes, Pure Evil MMA. We have been ranked as one of the more popular podcasts every week. So definitely check it out. Rate us 5 stars because that's how iTunes likes to do it. All right, here we go. CM Punk going up against Mickey Gall. All right, so here we go. CM Punk going up against Mickey Gall. And like I said, he did not shake his hand yesterday at the weigh-ins. Mickey Gall got the shot just because he was at the right place at the right time. Dana White was there. He calls him out. It was on Dana White looking for a fight. Lucky kid. However, he had a little bit of UFC experience because they put him in there against Michael the Truth Jackson. And damn, did that kid shine. There's the picture of them right there. CM Punk actually entered the octagon right after his first round rear naked choke submission of Michael the Truth Jackson. He landed this reach of a right hand and just dropped him. Absolutely crazy. So after that fight, CM Punk ends up coming in the octagon and asks Mickey, he's like, is that what you're thinking about doing? Mickey Gall goes, yep. They shake hands, and that was that. So now CM Punk has had 2 years, guys, to get ready for this fight. Robin Black brought this up perfectly in his breakdown, broke it down perfectly, explained this whole story, journey, everything perfectly. Like I said, and this is my words, I do not think CM Punk is going to be winning a belt anytime soon. He's not a Brock Lesnar coming over from the WWE where you just want to see this person fight just because he's just a mass, solid dude. No, it's just kind of a weird thing, kind of a publicity thing, if you ask me. CM Punk's kind of an older guy, not the best body on him. He just had surgery on his back. Mickey Gall's young, hungry. Either way, we were going to see this kid in the UFC very soon. Whether CM Punk was coming up and is now his opponent or not, doesn't matter. Mickey Gall is and was going to be coming to the UFC with or without CM Punk. And tonight, it's all laid down on the line. I'm going with Mickey Gall to win this, but I do say this in the podcast. I said it in the show Wednesday night with Ted Check. I do think CM Punk does have a trick up his sleeve here. And I wouldn't be surprised if he lands a nice right hand. Some people are even saying he might win it by guillotine. So who knows what's going to happen. If he does win this fight, though, oh my God, am I going to be shocked? I think a lot of people are going to be shocked. But now it kind of seems like everyone's kind of coming out of the woodworks for CM Punk and kind of supporting him. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook, a lot of stuff on Twitter. You know, people giving shout outs, a lot of wrestling stars, Hulk Hogan, bunch of people just supporting him. And I do understand that. And I do give him some respect because it is a risk to take. And it's kind of like if you have the opportunity to do it, why not? And I wish him the best of luck tonight. So we'll see what happens. However, I think Mickey Gall has what it takes to beat CM Punk. I think that he's way more experienced than him. He's been doing this since he was a little kid, even though he's only had 2 professional fights. We'll see what happens. So here we go, guys. Kind of weird one again. Verdun versus Travis Browne. Travis Browne, of course, coming off that loss to Cain Velasquez with that spinning wheel kick that came out of absolutely nowhere. That was crazy. I do not think that he's in the right camp training with Edmund Taverdian. I think Travis Browne would do way better somewhere else. But his wifey, Ronda Rousey, is there. So I don't really know. So we'll see what happens tonight. However, Travis Browne has fought Verdun before. And we all know what happened in that first fight. Travis Browne came out strong. He was landing some very clean, nice shots. Not the most accurate shots, but he was landing them. Then Verdun made a miraculous comeback and ended up going to decision and winning. So that's how that played out. If Travis Browne can map out that first round, because that's where he's usually the strongest in his fights, he could get Verdun's chin. And we saw Verdun go down in that last fight where he lost the belt, and now he's coming back to avenge that in Stipe's hometown. So he lost the belt in Brazil. Now he's traveling all the way to Cleveland. I just kind of dabbed. Just happened. I don't know. But yeah, so now he's coming all the way to Cleveland. He doesn't care. He wants the shot. He thinks he should be champion. However, you also have Cain Velasquez waiting there on the sidelines. He used to be the baddest man on the planet. He might be the next person you see in there for a title shot. So whether Overeem or Stipe wins tonight, and we're about to get into that in a second, either the winner of this, Travis Browne versus Verdun, or Cain Velasquez will be next in line, without a doubt. Here we go. Stipe Miocic versus Alistair Overeem. And that's how we started the podcast off. That's how we started this show off. Overeem calling out the belt, bringing it back to Rotterdam when he fought earlier this year, saying that he's going to be bringing the belt back in 2017 to defend the belt in Amsterdam. And you know what? It's not far-fetched. This is a dude that has been in this weight class, just absolutely destroying it. We've seen him retire Brock Lesnar. He's just been in there forever. Of course, his older brother fought, not one of the best fighters. However, he was raised, and you know how they are over there in Rotterdam. Those are some real, true-hearted fighters. They'll fight any day, anytime, anywhere. They'll smile, laugh, joke with you, but once you get in the ring with them, dude, watch out. And Overeem, with those leg kicks, keeping people at a distance. Stipe, what did we see in that last fight? He was walking backwards and got the knockout over Verdun. Walking backwards. So you got to watch out for that knockout power because he's got it. He's been training like a madman. You know that Stipe is absolutely hungry to defend this. All eyes are on him. He's in the land defending the belt, walking out to MGK till I die. It's one hell of an emotion that this man brings. And to be defending it in Cleveland, especially after the NBA and the finals and all that, everything that happened. Big things are happening out there. But do I think that Stipe is going to be defending the belt? That first round, it's going to be a tough one. I think what's going to happen in that first round is they're going to be feeling each other out. You're not going to be seeing many strikes thrown. They're just going to be keeping each other at the very end. I do not think Overeem's going to be engaging much with Stipe. I think Overeem needs to make Stipe play his game and walk in on him. Of course, Stipe, very good with the counters and landing those powerful, devastating shots when you least expect it. And it happens so quick, and you just drop. I think Overeem has, over 50 fights? Let's look it up. He has some of the most fights in that division. I think he's fought at least 60 times, something like that. Crazy record, but either way, he knows how to contain himself once he gets in the octagon. The pressure really isn't on Overeem tonight. There's going to be a lot of pressure on Stipe tonight. And we're going to see how Stipe deals with that as a champion defending the belt in Cleveland. What do I think is going to happen? Here's what I think is going to happen, guys. Third round, you're going to see Stipe getting really tired in there. Overeem's going to get the second win in that fourth round and land a nice one on Stipe. We saw Stipe get knocked out before. Do not forget this. We saw Stipe get knocked out by the skyscraper, Stefan Struve, who's just coming off a knockout win over Bigfoot in 13 seconds. This is very possible, guys. Fourth round, knockout, Overeem, and new. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at evil_echo. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Like us on iTunes. Give us 5-star rating. Let us know what you think. Who's going to be winning the belt tonight? Is it going to be defended? Is Jessica Evli going to get this win over Betchko Haya? Or is Betchko Haya going to go in there and show this girl that she's no joke? Is CM Punk going to come out on top? What's going to happen tonight? Let us know on Twitter at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. Let's get right into it, guys. Have a great night and behave yourselves.